Hey everybody, welcome to our channel. Tonight we're going to learn all about lambs. My mama, her name is Mama Dean. She's going to share a story, a true story about when she was a little girl and had a lamb. And you may have dressed up before like a lamb, maybe at Christmas, maybe if you have a costume of a lamb you can put it on, or if you have a soft stuffed animal, you might want to hold that tonight to hold while we have our stories. The first thing I'm going to share is this little book. I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to show it. It's Mia and Nattie. Nattie is the sheep. And it was written by Marlene Bell. I got it on Amazon and I wish I had time to read it to you, but it's a true story about a little girl who raised a lamb that just only weighed 3 pounds. She had to feed it milk, and it goes along really well with our story. Let me see if I can show it to you a little bit better. Can you see that? See the little girl holding the lamb? Another thing we're going to do, we're going to have a lamb snack at the end. Hunter and Joby may participate tonight. They might come over and dress up like some of our nursery rhyme characters. I'm hoping they will. I love nursery rhymes, and we haven't done a lot of nursery rhymes, but we're going to keep adding some in because Joby's doing kindergarten homeschool, and because I had a nursery when I was little. I love them and I wanted to share them with you. Can you see Mary had a little lamb? That's one of my favorite ones. You've probably heard that before. There are a lot of nursery rhymes with Marys in them, Mary Quack Contrary. And there are also a lot of nursery rhymes with lambs. I can think of about 4. And we're going to do a couple of those tonight, so we're glad to have you along. Oh, I also forgot to tell you, when Ezra was about to be born, I did a little shower for him. And everything was nursery rhyme. So I have a lot of this kind of stuff behind me in this, just because we had a shower. So I had so much fun getting it all out tonight and remembering our fun shower for Ezra.
I bought this little lamb for my grandchildren because it reminded me so much of a story when I was growing up of a little lamb that I loved dearly. One day I was about 11 years old and Daddy drove up in the car and jumped out excited. His eyes were just sparkling and he said, "I have something for you in the car." And when I went out to look, it was a little lamb. Of course, bigger than this, but it was newborn and it couldn't even stand up. And Daddy was going down the road and Mr. Goodman was our neighbor. He lived about a mile down the road, and he'd waved Daddy down and said that his sheep had just given birth to a baby lamb, but she died in the birth process. And he wanted Daddy's little girl to have that sheep, that baby lamb, and try to raise it. And Daddy knew I would be delighted. So he brought that little lamb home. Well, it didn't have a mother to nurse and no milk, so Mother said we'll have to get a bottle for it and feed it on the bottle. She had a bottle that was there from my niece and nephew, and it had a little bitty hole in the end. So she took the scissors and cut the tip off the bottle and made the milk run freely. And we gave it to the little lamb, and oh, the lamb was so happy. I named the lamb Pearl because Miss Goodman, her name was Pearl, and Mr. Goodman was the one that gave me the little sheep, so I thought it should be named for Miss Pearl. And also, she was kind of a white sheep, but a little more like a pearl than white, kind of a cream color. And I thought she was the prettiest little lamb in the world. Well, we fed her with the bottle, and she got so she would butt wherever the milk came from. If it was me, she'd butt me, or Mother if Mother was giving her the bottle, and pretty soon Mother let me give her the bottles because she was my sheep. We couldn't keep her in the barn because she was too little and the other animals would trample over her. So they went out to the woodshed and got a big wooden box that was about as tall, half as tall as I was, and had slats all the way up and down it. It was high and it was rather large. And Pearl couldn't jump out of it because she was not able to jump that high. So we put Pearl down in that box and we'd give her the milk, sometimes through the slats that she couldn't get between. And pretty soon she outgrew that box. She was eating so much milk every day. And she also liked the cottage cheese that Mother made for the baby chickens. She would take the milk and clabber it and make cottage cheese out of it. And we chopped little chives, little tops of onions into it. And the chickens liked that. Well, Pearl liked that too. And she ate just so many things, anything she could find. But she outgrew that box. And we had to take her outside. It was still warm weather. And she liked running around freely outside. And I found out that, well, she'd try to butt me. If I tried to butt her back and push her back, then she got so she'd run at me. And it was a challenge. It was sort of a competition, like a game. And she'd run at me and try to butt me with her head. But as she got bigger, those were pretty big butts. And when she'd butt me, I'd fall down on the ground. And she ate so much she got wide. She got broad across and her legs were still short. So I could get up on her back and put my legs on either side of her back. They didn't touch the ground because she was so wide, my legs wouldn't touch the ground. But I would get up on her, and she was so fat and strong, she would run down the hill with me on her back. And it would just go bloopy, bloop, bloop, bloop down the hill. Oh, I thought it was the greatest fun in the world. But one day, my grandmother came. She came and lived with us, and on the weekends she was there. The week she stayed in town and sat with older ladies. And she came home, and she went out to take some cottage cheese to the baby chickens. She always tended to baby chickens. She liked that so much. And she made a bowl of cottage cheese, and she was carrying it out to give to the baby chickens. And I looked out the window, and I saw a tragedy that was about to happen. She was bending down to put the cottage cheese into the chicken feeder, and she was bent over, and I saw Pearl coming and a bloop, 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 just as fast as she could run across the yard. And it was too late to do anything about it but holler. I hollered, and Mother came running out the back door and was going to go to help Grandmother, but it was too late. Pearl saw her bent over and just butted her right in the seat. And she fell right over on the ground, right on her head, just fell right over. And Mother ran out to help her up, and Pearl ran away. And I could see Mother's lips were tightly fixed when she came in. And she said, "Pearl has gotten to be mean." And I said, "Oh no, Pearl's not mean. She didn't know that would hurt Grandmother. She just plays." But I could tell from the look on Mother's face, she knew that was the end of Pearl for us. She didn't say much about it, but it wasn't many weeks till I came home from school, and Mother said, "Well, Pearl left on the truck this morning." I said, "Where did she go?" Well, she went to the slaughterhouse. They weren't very secretive. They didn't keep things from us. She said she was big, large, and she needed to go. It was her time. Well, I was so peeved. I just sulked and pouted a little bit about it. But a few days later, a check came in the mail, and it was $80, and I never had known such money as that. And Mother always wanted to be fair with the children, and since Jerry and I were both girls living at home, she divided it between us. So I had $40 and Jerry had $40. That was more money than I had ever had at one time. We went to town and bought school shoes and dresses. That went a long way in that day. Bought a lot of clothes. And even though I was sad about Pearl, I was a lot less sad when I came home with that sack of clothes from town. But that was the end of my baby sheep, and I learned a lot from her, and I always loved her a lot.
For the snack, we're gonna try this. I'm not sure how it'll turn out, but I've got everything out that I'm going to try tonight. I've got this decorating gel from Walmart, the candy eyeballs at Walmart. These from Walmart. I'm pretty sure I got the tiny jet puffed marshmallows. It looks like it says 3 ounces. I got those on Amazon, as well as the Snyder old-fashioned pretzel rods, just because I couldn't find them at the store. And when I tried it before with the miniature marshmallows, it didn't work that well. It took a long time. So we're gonna try it with these ingredients. Hope you get to try it too.
I melted on this white chocolate that are circles, I have 7 right here. They looked like this at first, and now since I melted them in the microwave, they look like that.
Okay. What are you gonna make?
I'm going to make little shapes with these pretzel sticks. So I'm gonna
roll it.
Roll.
And you can use your spoon to dip it up higher on it. If you want to put chocolate halfway across it, you can.
Yeah, I can like drizzle it on.
Yeah, that'll work. You can either drizzle it or... Perfect. Okay, you put all your marshmallows in the little pan there. That looks
Not
great.
all of them. Some are still in here.
Okay. So are you hoping that Lily can do this too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're showing her how. You're going to take your pretzel rod, take it while it's still gooey. Look, take that one and roll it in your plate of marshmallows. Okay. Roll it and roll it. Oh, that's sticking. It's doing a lot better than our other kind. The miniature marshmallows just didn't work very well, but that looks great, Jovi. That's great. Girls, do y'all need the scissors?
I do.
Here, Jovi.
Okay, thank you, Mommy.
You're welcome.
I'll set it down right there.
Okay.
So it won't get messed up.
I'm looking forward to seeing what y'all are going to do. If you're going to leave it just like that and have a little lamb pretzel, that would be fun. Or if you're going to actually take one of those white wafers right here and make a sheep face on your pretzel, that would be cool.
I can make a sheep face on my pretzel.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're working so hard.
What do I do now?
Let's just lay it on the white.
Actually, I'm not sure if I'm gonna.
That'll be fine. Just lay it down. That's good. Now, if you want to, you can put the eyes straight down on there and make the little lamb face. You can always add more chocolate to it. Jovi's made her lamb face sideways. I like that, Jovi. That's a good idea. She's putting little ears on hers. I like that, Jovi.
That looks like a little chocolatey face.
It does.
It's cute.
It is cute.
I'm gonna set it right here to dry.
Okay.
How would you even use this part?
Just put the,
I don't even know how I'm going to use this.
Look at the napkin.
I don't know.
Look at
I
the napkin.
don't
They
even
come
know
the
why
ears come
I'm
out to
going
the
to
side.
use this part.
If you need it to glue anything on, hold it down and it'll start.
It doesn't stay unless you make it look like eyebrows.
Okay, I'll help you.
And it mutated. Why does it have eyebrows?
Okay, let's see what Hudson
It
did.
mutated.
Hudson, show us yours. You did some woolly lambs. That's great.
We need more
Let's see,
marshmallows.
Mine is partly
called
bald.
you Daniel. William, yours looks good too.
Mine is kind of.
I made a mutated sheep alien. Mine's like.
And Asher's just eating his, aren't you, Asher?
Mine's partly bald on some.
Mine's just.
Well, it's a good snack.
Let's get more marshmallows.
You want one?
We needed a little break from swimming, didn't we, guys?
Everybody
No.
No.
I'll turn the water back on when y'all go out.
Yay.
Are y'all ready to go back out?
We need more marshmallows.
Okay, I'll grab you some.
I was looking for her and she was looking for me because I was the sheep and she.
Why don't you go hide and then she could be looking for you. Hide behind that tree so we can see you, sort of that you're hiding behind the bush. Okay. Okay. Now, Bo Peep, can you look for your sheep? Your sheep won't come, will she? Leave them alone and they'll come home. Wagging tails behind them.
Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep and doesn't know where to find them. Leave them alone and they'll come home, wagging their tails behind them.
Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow.